Hi everyone, it's Natalie here again. Fun times. I don't know if I said it in my last video or not, but I'm getting ready to go away for a few days over the weekend. My best friend, who I was in seminary with, um, got a new job and moved away from Chicago a couple years ago, and I am her children's Dharma mother, which is kind of like the Buddhist, I guess the Western Buddhist equivalent of like a godmother. So I'm bringing all kinds of little presents and gifts and things to my Dharma daughters. But I'm also really eager to show my friend the tarot decks that I have. Because this is not a thing that I was doing when we were in seminary together or in the years since. So she's super, super curious. And I'm really eager to share a lot of my decks and things with her. So part of like getting everything ready has been just in preparation for being able to share some of my new to her, old to me, and also new to me passions, with the tarot and oracle. So this is a wrap that I made for the Numinous tarot. And I don't know if Rachele has seen these, but Rachele, woman, you have completely inspired me with these wraps because there's so many wonderful things to love about them, and this whole idea. Because so many times when I go to read somebody or read for somebody locally, we have to go someplace public because I really don't have a good reading space in my home, at least not right now. And I don't know, I could read for people in my living room, and I have, but I don't always like to bring people to my house. I'm sure people understand that. So usually we patronize like local cafes and so on, who are generally pretty happy to have us there. And it's not that the tables are that filthy so much as it is that I just don't always want to put my cards on the table. I guess if that makes sense. I always wipe it down, but you just never know. So this system has been a godsend and a wonderful discovery, because I thought, wow, now I have to make special cloths to put on the table, and this just it's like a 2-in-1. It does all you need and then some. So yeah, so here's the Numinous tarot, which is so bright and colorful and glorious, and is quickly becoming one of my favorite decks. So the inside, this is silk. Again, purchased from remnants that I found at JoAnn. And I have not ironed this. This is how like slapdash things are right at the moment. I intended to iron this before filming, and then I realized, like, no, if I want to film this, I've got to just do it. But the cloth itself is just so pretty, and I just decided like it needed some gold, or yellow colored floss. I always put my floss like this on clothespins because you can wrap it so neatly and then it's just there. And I didn't have enough of this turquoise silk. It's Dupioni silk, so it's like really soft and thick, and I don't know how well that's showing up. Oh yeah, you can see the texture. Yeah, it's got such a beautiful texture. And I thought, purple is perfect, and there is a lot of purple in the deck itself, not just on the backs, but the deck itself. So I thought, you know what, we're just going to work with what I've got and make this function. So that is what I did last night. I did did all of it on the sewing machine, and then of course I just go around with the over, the top stitching afterwards by hand. And I'm thinking about using something like a sulky thread, which is satin, let's see, where does it say sulky? There it is. It's like a satin thread, if you're not familiar with it. And I might use that to do some like hand stitching over the top of the shapes of the like the little paisleys on here, because that's so pretty and it'll look lovely on the back. Or I can do it and like pull this apart just a little bit like that, so that I can do it on the outside and it doesn't have to go on the inside, you know, one way or the other. I don't know, or I'll just leave it like it is. It just depends. It'll depend on if I get all the rest of my stitching and sewing done while I'm there, but I'll just take all of it so that I can play, and we'll see what happens. So that's what I got. And where the seam ended up, let's see if that's visible. Yeah, you can see it. So where the seam ended up is like perfect for knowing where to put the deck. Because then all I have to do is, you know, get it all neat and tidy here. Yep. And then roll it over and over again. Oh, and I stitched it on with some of this sulky thread. I've done that now with all of the ones that are stitched on. And this is a way I like to wrap books too. So I like using lots of ribbon. And there we have it. So that is the Numinous Tarot and its little wrapping cloth. So thank you again, Rachele, for sharing that. It's really just, it's solved so many of my like overthinking quandaries about how to create tarot bags and how to make them function and do I want this, and it's just like, no, just wrap the damn thing. It's not rocket science. Don't overthink it. Just what do you have and what would work well, because she's coming up with such beautiful things. And I love, she just did a padded tarot cloth. So if you haven't seen that one, it's stunning as well. Okay, everybody. See you soon. Bye.